Retrospective of Citizens of Reality, Season 3, Part 1.
When I hear this, you must vote because people died for you to have this right, the first question I ask is, what am I voting for? In other words, are there any issues that are on the floor that are going to improve my quality of life? Or is this just an exercise in futility? And so, when I hear that, one of my friends was trying to pressure me into, oh, you got to vote. You can't vote for this idiot. We got to get Biden in, that type of thing. When I kept hearing that narrative, what came to my mind was, one of the guys told me, a close friend told me, he said, my grandmother told me that people died for us to have this right, and so if you don't do anything else, vote. And I said, well, my grandmother voted. She went to church. She did all those things a lot of our elders did, but she told us to think for ourselves.
What we have to do, if we're going to see some rapid change, we're going to have to start paying attention, not just be conscious, but we have to be conscious parents. Those children from the age of 0 to 7, that's the most crucial time of a child's life. Because whatever you have taught them and programmed to think on how to think and the way they view the world, is the way they're going to spend the rest of their life.
My biggest issue, I guess, would be, the corruptness in the government.
An Asian hegemony. As their population in Asia grows, so shall their strength throughout the world, militarily, financially. So I think BRICS is a signal to that.
There's going to be some power shifts and realignments because the existing power structure and existing superpowers are going to pretty much end up eating themselves or collapsing. We're already seeing it with Russia. We're already seeing it with America. China, well, they built too fast, too well, and now they have entire cities that are just completely empty.
That combine that you described is still nothing more than capitalism. And if anybody should be against capitalism, it should be African people of all stripes, because it was our blood and free labor that spread that infernal system all over the world. You will find some people who will see us having a discussion like this and tell us we're nothing but a bunch of red communists. And I've told communists themselves, how can I possibly be that? And he said, what do you mean? I said, I'm an African. And he says, and what does that mean? We believe in God.
And we all understand that the N-word is unacceptable publicly. Those of us who can use it and nobody check us about it, because it is something that is organic in the community. But I really don't think it's all that organic when it was planted.
I don't like how Europeans have been able to co-opt that. You're attacking Jews like you're attacking us. No. The originals, as we mentioned offline, were from Ethiopia. My mentees were Jewish. They weren't white. These are black kids. They understand the history of it. The mother understands all that. But then, I'm one of these people that, they say, oh, they don't see race. Like this one. I'm like, when I hear that, that person is the biggest racist out there. Because I have this quote by Dr. Umar, and I'm going to quote that. To the extent they know who you are, the more racist they become. Because in studying you, they see your potential. This relates to our conversation about the N-word, because the whole issue of the N-word and the occasion of it relates to the issue of our identity. Discussing this, I'm not saying that a person actually has to be a witness or a victim of this type of language, because we know that for the most part it's something that's negative and counterproductive. You have a black mayor, there's a black mayor in Montgomery, and a black police chief. The black police chief said he didn't see it as a racial event. The black mayor he said something similar. This black mayor was recorded I think he's on second term. He's recorded before his election, saying, "I don't need the black vote to get in."
Don't let I can come smile. I don't have to do no work. Okay? I don't have to do no work systemically, and I'm going to be fine. And guess what? I will always get 38 to 45% of the white vote. If I get 30 to 45% of the white vote, I don't have to get the black vote I got this past election. I win. You got black city, that's great. You can have all black everything, and guess what? You won't have green nothing.
You don't know what the situation. Are you going to step in? Some people, like the gentleman who left off the boat, he saw an injustice and he went to help by any means necessary, even if he's got to get wet.
But wait a minute. There's one thing I wanted to say when you talk about the Alabama vote. The brother that jumped in the water and swam across, he should go down in history. He should be remembered for all time.
Finally, we said we'd had enough. The problem with African people here, and I'd say globally, isn't a lack of unity. What we have is unity of action. What we don't have is unity of thought.
It's not unusual for black people to work well together. What is unusual is for us to hear the call that is louder that one of us is in trouble, and so we all need to gather and protect one of our own.
I don't know, as far as, I'm looking at this through my black lens, and a part of it, I look at it like I don't have a dog in the race.
I have no idea. All I can do is hope and pray that he never gets back in Washington.
I love it if he went to the penitentiary. The pen, it has something sacred for people like him. You know, and I could just see it now. Who'd be the first one to volunteer to jab him in the butt? Man. And could he take it? You know what he said about Black Lives Matter. So I'd like to see him matter.
Whether we elect him or not, he is representative. And for us to come down on him too severely puts a dark light upon the people.
First thing first, people that really have money and they don't go to jail as easy. I mean, they really have to do something outlandish to wind up landing in jail. He's been out of jail this long.
I am definitely surprised at the efforts that have been made as far as the progress on the indictments of President Trump.
Have we become technology crippled, or does technology give us an advantage to focus on other things?
I really do see technology as more of an advantage than it crippling society. Overall, I think evolution is just the way of humanity. Progression is what we do, and I think technology is a reflection of that progression.
Granted, I grew up from an age where typewriter to electric typewriter to word processor to an actual computer to a computer that I can go to the lab for, and to a computer I have in my house, to a computer I have in my pocket, to a computer I have on my wrist. So, in those advances, as long as the people using them understand them, and thank you for not understanding them because you provide me with so much work. Are we going to have to deal with AI? Yeah, it's already out there. The genie's out of the bottle. Do I see I do see somewhere in the near future, probably in about the next 50, 60 years, we're probably going to have to deal with AI as people.
We don't have the maturity for the technology that we have.
No, we don't.
And, you know, what has to happen is we need to slow down on trying to be so technologically savvy and start going within and becoming better human beings so that the technology we have can do something for us. We're not using it correctly. We're like a little 3-year-old with a assault rifle. I saw a clip years ago. They were just messing around. Some soldiers had gotten drunk, and there was a monkey at the camp that was kind of like a pet or whatever. They were drunk and they messed around and gave the monkey. One of them gave the monkey his rifle. Say, yeah! And they're laughing. All of a sudden, the monkey took the rifle and started, and everybody's running. You don't do stuff like that. And that's what the analogy is. That's where we are right now. We're like that monkey with the rifle. Don't know what to do, right?
Hey, lady, your bike come from your bike. Hey, no.
Technology is only as important as what it's used for. A friend of mine.
A lot of jobs have been lost due to lack of technology, but on the other hand, if they're going to use technology like that, then we should be moving towards business and financial freedom. That way, it won't affect us.
I think the kids are very tech savvy. I think that they would not know how to work without technology. They like their world. They like the instant world. And they laugh at me because I don't like their world. I resist the change and the constant change in the world. And there's just so many fascinating things that happen instantaneous. It's like instant oatmeal. I don't like instant oatmeal. What do you think?
Well, I have always been a firm believer that all technology is not good technology. Technology can be good if used properly, but then there's the fallback, where you find predators for children on technology, not just YouTube and Facebook, but video games. Or Val doesn't allow Adalia to play Roblox.
They're always going to be
because they interact with children, and I do. So I agree with you where children are not. They're not taught anything but technology. Parents now are so tech savvy. We came up during a time where you had to interact with people.